Hello, my name is Ann Brock. I'm a pre-sales consultant here at RightStar Systems. Today I wanted to take you through some of the administration behind Helix ITSM, which used to be known, of course, as Remedy. Same product if it's on-premise or in the cloud, and the administration, of course, is the same. This is not meant to be a complete administration training by any means. Just wanted to walk through some of the areas of administration and show you how to do some of the basic things. If you have more questions after this or you want a deeper demo, please contact RightStar. You can email info@rightstar.com or contact your sales rep here at RightStar. I wanted to start off on digital workplace administration. Digital workplace, of course, is the end user self-service portal that we all know and love. So here I am logged into digital workplace. I can see a bunch of things over here, catalog, my activity, my stuff, location, etc. And I have pretty much everything enabled here. How does this get configured? I'm going to go ahead and go over to my digital workplace configuration area. You can see I'm in digital workplace admin. I'm on my configuration tab. And let's say I don't want to include location for my end users. I just go ahead and uncheck that box. And when I come back here and I refresh this, that location tab is gone. I just have my stuff, my activity, and catalog. If I go back to location, or back to my digital workplace administration, enable location, and I refresh, or when an end user logs in again, I'm going to see that location item there. So that's how easy it is to configure some of the options in digital workplace. Of course, there's more things I can do in here. This is where I would go ahead and configure some things around the service requests that I'm exposing out there. I could create broadcasts that they would see out there, et cetera, et cetera. How help desk is around hours, other kinds of things as well. But the configuration, as you can see, is pretty straightforward, data-driven, not screen-driven, pretty simple to set up. By the way, while we're here, I'm going to mention this idea here. This is an add-on application called Agility Suite from Fusion, which is a light project management application resting on top of Innovation Studio that gives you some project management, Gantt charts, Kanban charts, and allows you to start capturing ideas and make them into projects. Sorry, that was a digression. I didn't know if everybody knew about it, but that's why that idea is there. So again, easy to configure, easy to go ahead and change the options out here. The next thing I want to hit was around service requests. Of course, the whole point of digital workplace is to go ahead and expose service requests. So for example, I have a service request here for new hire provisioning. This was done using Digital Workplace Basic technology. There are two flavors of Digital Workplace, Basic and Advanced. So here I've got a basic one, pretty straightforward. I can bring myself aboard. I'm going to be head honcho. A few things are required. Go ahead and do that. And if I hit this, it will go ahead and expand and show me other fields. So pretty straightforward to build a service request or for the user to fill out a service request. This can create one or more activities in the backend, just depending on how you have it configured. And how this gets configured is done over here. I start off in my service request management console, go into my service request definition for new hire processing. To modify it, I do need to take it offline. And here's where I can go ahead and go into questions and mappings and start changing things. Let's do that button again, questions and mappings. And we can see the questions that I had out on that self-service portal. Let's say I wanted to make security badge access required. I could just go ahead, come here, highlight that question, select required, and now it's going to be required. You can see down here I have a test question. If I want to add another question, I will click on Add Question. I know that was tricky, huh? Second test question. And I can say if it's going to be a checkbox, text, whatever it is, and go ahead and put in a, and maybe we'll say no. I won't get too fancy. Go ahead and apply and apply. And now when I go ahead and select this the next time, which we're going to see in just a minute after I turn this online, I'm going to see that question appear as well as the required security access. So I'm back on Digital Workplace. I'll go back to my catalog. I'll go ahead and hit that new hire provisioning. And we can see again, names required, titles required. And this time, security badge access is required. And down here, we see those checkbox questions that we did. So again, very simple to go ahead and configure those using Digital Workplace Basic. Now that works great, but sometimes you want something a little fancier, and that's where we talk about Digital Workplace Advanced. I'm going to go ahead and hit on this JIRA Submit Request. This was done using Digital Workplace Advanced. It's got pretty simple. The idea behind this one is it's going to go ahead and create a ticket in the JIRA system. So Digital Workplace Advanced, the service request, the service broker, allows you to create tickets outside of the ITSM system as well as within the ITSM system. Go ahead and submit it, and it's going to go ahead and go through. So let's look at how that service is configured. That service is done in the Digital Workplace catalog. I already have found the JIRA Submit Request, and I can go ahead and open it up and start looking at its workflow and its questions. So here it's workflow. Now you can see that we have a drag and drop workflow builder, where I could go ahead and put additional things, not just a connector, but maybe I wanted to also do a sub-process or a task or something else. Maybe I want to link it up to Active Directory. I don't know what I want to do here, but I can start dragging and dropping and building a complex workflow process through drag and drop technology. If I wanted to go ahead and add a question, I would go ahead and come in here. Here are the questions that are there. And maybe I want to add one more question over here. Oh, I don't know. You can look at this one. Oh, that one's already on there. That's right, we've got the issue type right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just hit on new question down here. I don't know, we'll just say, what do we want to call this? We'll call this a description field. Go ahead and save it. And you can see how easy it is to add questions in there. We'll go ahead and save that. Confirm. And now that has been updated in our particular thing. Let's go ahead and close this. And that's how easy it is. Go ahead and use the service broker to build more complex workflow. And I'm going to go ahead and take off my search here so we can look at some more things and start looking for other things as well. I'm going to go ahead and do look for 365, create a 365 user, and look at its workflow as well. You can see it's got some other things going on here. Let's go ahead and look at the workflow, edit it. And now it's coming in. It's asking if you want to delete, if there's a license available, create an offering, yada, yada. And so this is a more complex workflow. Again, drag and drop, so pretty easy for people to do. Now, of course, I do want to show you what happened with the JIRA one. Come into JIRA Submit Request. I just did that description, so it wasn't very exciting. But here's where we added that description test. So again, pretty easy to go ahead and do those as well, whether you're in basic, whether you're in advanced, easy enough to go ahead and build service requests and expose them out to your end users. A whole lot of stuff around entitlements and things, but again, we're not getting into everything today. Okay, now I want to hit a couple examples that might be of interest, especially if you're coming maybe from one of BMC's other solutions. And basically, I'm going to show how to create a template, because that's common across all the solutions, and then how to look at the approval rules as well. This is a small part of the application administration, but it will give you a feel for some of the things going on. To do this, I go into my application administration console. I'm on the custom configuration tab, and let's say I want to add an incident management template. I come into my incident management section. I come into template, and I'm going to go ahead and open this up. If I want to do a new template, I hit on create. I'm going to type new template because I'm not feeling very creative. I'm going to go ahead and let's just put under application. And this is a little bit different again from some other BMC tools, so I did want to take this through. New sample template. And here are the fields I can fill out that would be filled out when this template is applied. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and put it to assigned. And on the assignment tab, I'm going to say assign to current user. And I'm going to go ahead and I can put categorizations. Just say hardware, failure, whatever it is. But you can see I can just walk through each of these tabs. I'm going to use this as an incident, so I'm going to use user service restoration as a type, and kind of walk through, fill out what you want to happen when this template does come in. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. Oops, I'm missing some of the authoring. I have to say who's able to see this template. I had forgotten about that, but the system lets me know. So I'm going to say it's for IT support, and this will be for the service desk. Now I can do it to multiple groups, of course. It doesn't have to be to just the one group, but you can. This is how you can control who gets to see which templates. Okay, so now that we've created that template, I'm going to use it on a ticket. I'm going to go to Create New Incident, and maybe Mary calls in, so I'll pick her as my customer. And here's where I can go ahead and use that template. So New Template, select it, fills in the summary, fills in the categorization. It's gone ahead and gotten assigned to me, and so I can go ahead and save this ticket. And so that's how you create a template in the Helix ITSM world, similar for change templates, etc. The next thing I wanted to talk about was approval mappings, done a little bit differently here again than some other applications. So I'm going to use change management, go into approval mappings, and very similar to template, this is a form-based thing. So here I can say if it's going to be an individual or a group. I'll go ahead and leave it at individual, Alan Holbrook. And it's going to come ahead with a couple. I'm going to pick it with Calbro. Go ahead and select that. Here's where I go ahead and select when I want this phase to hit. I'm going to say it's a review approval phase. And down here on the bottom section is where I can go ahead and put in when this is going to apply. Again, I can do it through categorizations. I can do it through other values as well. We can see by my role, because of course some approval processes, based upon what group I'm in, may go to, or what group the change is in, may go through different processes. And then there's some advanced criteria, maybe an impact of 1. So if something comes in that's an application hardware impact 1, this approval rule is going to hit. It's level 0. So Alan's going to get it first. I could have a level 1, 2, 3, 4 for subsequent approvals. Or of course I could have multiple at level 0. So pretty straightforward on building approval rules in the Helix ITSM system. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about Smart IT configuration. And this is actually going to go into some of the back-end items as well around adding fields and whatnot. I'm going to start off with asset action. Now, Smart IT is a little bit mixed bird right on this version. Half of it is progressive web apps, the other half isn't. But I'm going to focus in on incident management, which is a progressive web application, as well as the asset console, which is not. Okay, I know it's a little bit confusing, but hopefully it makes sense when we get there. Okay, let me go ahead and go back to my asset console. And you can see here, if I select an asset, I have some asset actions here. I can create relationships to this asset. I can create people relationships or install and deploy new laptop. This can be very nice if I'm adding people to multiple assets. I can go ahead and do this, create people relationships, find some people. I don't know, Joe. I have a Joe out there. I've got several, so I'm going to pick Joe. I'm going to say Joe is using these 3 assets. Fast way, okay, one of those really, he was already associated with the one asset, but the other assets got updated. And of course, that's going to be seen on the asset down in the People tab. But that's just a very convenient way to do it. I could have come into here, hit People, and added him this way as well, but that's extra clicks. So I kind of like those asset actions. To configure those, I go into More, Configuration, Screen Configuration. And as you can see, there's more. Again, we're not hitting everything today. But down here in this Asset View, I can go into Add and Remove Actions. And here's where I see that Create Asset Relationships. If I hadn't already created that one, I could come down here to Add an Action, go to Asset Action, and these are the actions that are available. I can choose to apply to everything or just one particular configuration type. I'm going to go ahead and say everything. Oops, hit the wrong key there. I hit the Escape key. Don't do that. So I'm going to come here, Asset Action. We'll leave it at all. Maybe I want to add Update Asset. I'm just going to go ahead and update the CI name. And I'm going to say this is called Update Asset. And so now if I come back to my ticket console, oops, I want to go to my asset console, you all are saying. I come here, go to Asset Action, Update Asset, and it's going to let me update the asset name. So that's pretty cool, right? Being able to add those actions, very easy to configure, etc. Now I'm going to talk about something just a little bit more complex, adding a field to the screen. Let me go ahead and show you what the incident looks like right now. Okay, so I'm sitting here on an incident, and I'm seeing various fields here. Incident type, service, CI, yada, 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 operational category, etc. So various fields are here. If I want to add a field, and this is the one part that gets a bit more technical, it's done in Developer Studio, which is based on the Eclipse IDE. And this is in a progressive web view form, so it looks a little different. But you're going to get used to this pretty quickly. So here's this form, and I don't know if you can see this, but down here it's telling me I'm in the Create part of Smart IT. So you can actually have different fields based on Create, based on Edit, or just on View. So I can look at this field and think about where do I want to put something. I'm not sure I want to put it yet, but let's go ahead and look at this and see what we've got. Got the customer stuff. We've got the here. Let's do it by incident type and service. Remember that stuff was over here, incident type service. Let's go ahead and add a field into this section. So I'm going to right-click, create a new field in current view. I'm just going to make it simple, make it character. And let's see if I can drag it over a bit. And again, this is going to become second nature to you all if you do decide to add some fields. I'm going to go ahead and give it a couple options here. The name of the field is going to be Test Field 1. And that's in the database. I also want to change it on the display. Test Field 1. I can also here pick which views I want to have it in. Right now it's just in my Create view. I'm going to go ahead and add it to the other views as well. Oh, here's the Edit. And here's the view. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. And give it a couple seconds to go ahead and save there. Okay, so Test Field 1 got saved. If I go look at my Edit view, I can see that Test Field 1 is on there as well. Whoops, I hit the wrong thing there. But Test Field 1 is going to be on the Edit. It's going to be on the View as well. In that case, I didn't show it well. Here it is on the Edit view, Test Field 1, because I added it to that view. And again, on the View, Test Field 1. So now let's take a look and see what that looks like in the incident itself. And okay, as I mentioned, I wanted to go ahead and show you that field on the screen. And now here we can see, here's the Test Field 1 as we're viewing this ticket. It'll be available on the Edit and the Create screens as well. Okay, so those were what I wanted to run through. Again, there's a lot more administration we could talk about, but these were the key ones for today. Hopefully that was interesting. Contact us if you need more info or if there's a particular area of administration you wanted to get into. Thank you.